say REC. Oh yeah.
Hold on a second.
Oh, do I let go of it?
Yeah. These 2 fingers, you can zoom in or zoom back out.
How do you stop it from recording?
Push it over the device.
Oh, okay.
Trusting her with it again.
Well, it's not moving. Oh, there it goes. There.
Oh, don't do that.
That's a David Letterman.
You have to move, Rose.
I know David Letterman.
Terry, there. There. Quit ignoring me.
Just gotta take my picture. I'm feeling a little insecure tonight. I didn't clip my nose hairs.
Wait, let me see.
And red, those red.
I should probably get.
High tops.
There's Shelly.
No, it's him. And this was
Miss Melvin.
the billboard.
Mrs. Melvin, I mean.
Don't say that.
You're right. I had.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have your wedding ring on? Oh, there's Archie.
How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Real good. We want to pick up today, so we're only getting 3 games back, and by this time next year,
We don't want to talk about
see us-
football. This is a Christmas party. No football talk.
No football talk?
No.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Are you winning, Steve?
Should we start the story? I can't really wait. I've heard it.
Okay, it says light. Okay, I'm recording.
Amber, you're retarded.
Okay, Terry, talk.
Why do you have it in the wrong eye? You shoot with the wrong eye too.
Oh, here's a big close up on your nose.
Oh well, thank you. I really needed that.
Oh, that's all right.
No.
Hey,
Easter
where
bunny.
did everyone go? Okay.
There's no Santa Claus.
I don't even
And
know who
there's
that
no
is.
Christmas present.
No, there's no birthday
That's
present.
Nancy. We'll wait until the story.
Alright, don't lose Colleen's purse.
There's nothing in there. Don't worry.
It's our last one. Get your hands on my purse.
Hi, Angie.
It's our last personal. Yeah,
Whose purse is that?
already lost one.
There we go.
Is that somebody's
I'm
purse?
practicing.
Colleen, can I borrow a purse?
And her dinner.
You got any left?
And her breakfast.
No black ones left. Larry loses that one.
Here's Archie's artwork.
Hope you don't have a black ensemble.
Later.
Where's the outfit? I need a black.
You need black.
Yeah,
You need
a
black.
lot black in my sweater.
Is that enough light, Larry, or do you want
Angie, did you want to
so? There's plenty of room.
Here comes Larry.
No, I'm fine, Larry. I'm not gonna beg.
There's
Wave, Colleen.
yeah.
Here's Colleen trying scotch.
Then all the ones.
There she goes. Let's get her face.
There goes Baby Muff.
And then I get this big sign saying.
Yay!
Ladder is here, right? Yeah.
Look at that look on her face. That was very good, Colleen. Thank you.
Go ahead, start.
That's the usual response.
Okay.
But you're not cold now, are you? No, it's like warm.
Okay. Look
It's
at
what we did skiing. Shots of peppermint schnapps on the lift. Kept it warm.
Yeah, I bet. Okay.
I'm gonna get
The
muscles.
story this year is a little bit more reflective than in past years. It's born out of some personal events, and of course, you guys as the staff supply an ever abundance of material. So the approach to the story, though, is dedicated to someone special who I'm certain would have relished its contents. So, the story, the Christmas story for 1993, The Letter Home.
Oh, the letter home.
Dear Mom,
Dear Mom.
I know it's been a while since I've written, but I've been steadily working on what Nancy calls my literary litany for the pharmacy Christmas party. Although each year I try and talk my way out of writing the story, Roger says it has become tradition. Earl says they've become classics, and it just wouldn't be the same without it. So
Classics.
I must say that I do write an unbelievably terrific story, and it has become so incredibly popular that I have to agree with Raj and Earl that the party probably just wouldn't be the same without it. So let me bring you up to date on what's going on around here. Now, Mom, before I get started, I must ask you to keep this stuff strictly hush-hush. I know how you love gossip, and I know how you love juicy stories, but I really don't want this stuff getting back to my staff, because I'm sure if they heard it, they'd mistake it for the libelous and slanderous stuff that it is. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me, and if it does leak out, I'll deny every word of it. Well, enough of the chip chat. Here's the scoop. Tammy and Shelley are doing just fine. They are not in jail. I knew you were concerned about them after that unfortunate misunderstanding they had at Bobby McGee's. Tammy insists it was not their fault that the brawl started. Although she does admit that they probably may have had a little too much to drink and should not have started screaming at the bouncer. But Tammy says the bouncer was being a real jerk and everything would have been okay if he would have just stayed out of it and not tried to break up the fight that her friend was in. So the rumor is not true that she and Jelly were arrested. They weren't booked for disorderly conduct. They weren't booked for disturbing the peace. Bobby McGee's just tossed them out.
Forever.
Now, I hear they're now hanging out at Sticks, which I'm sure you've been reading about because that's where Charles Barkley likes to get into fights. I don't think they're interested in starting to fight with Barkley though, Mom. I think they're just trying to meet his lawyer just in case this thing with Bobby McGee comes back to haunt them. I'll keep you posted on this one. You know, Ma, these happy hours have become quite the thing on Friday afternoons. The guys from the pharmacy go every now and then to have a beer or two and just unwind a little bit. Don't worry, Ma, I never have more than a couple beers. I'm more interested in the food. You should see the spread these places they have. They have chicken wings, baby back ribs, fresh veggies. Anyway, Ma, back to what I was talking about. The gals, though, they have different ideas. Particularly Colleen and Angie. They go to check out guys' butts. I never realized before that girls are so interested in guys' behinds. I thought you told me that girls are interested in guys that are caring, that are sensitive, that are warm, that are personable. Not these gals. If a quarter doesn't bounce off their butt, they're not. At any rate, Colleen and Angie will sit on a stool at a bar and make comment after comment. Particularly if the guy has a big bulge in his wallet. This really gets them interested. The bigger the bulge in the wallet, the greater the attraction.
Make sure it's the wallet.
This must be some new thing since Dad gave me that talk a little while back. But you never know about this younger generation. The hospital stuff though, Mom, still pretty much the same. I'm still having trouble getting the staff to accept doing prescriptions in the outpatient area. I'm continually getting read the riot act from Ivan, who says, there are some of my staff who aren't really very service-oriented. Ma, do you remember that old GE commercial that says, service is our only business?
No.
Well, that's not our business. That's not our motto with the pharmacy. My staff has posted a notice that says, if you are irritable, grouchy, or just plain mean, there is a $100 charge to pick it up with you. Now, Mom, that's up from the original $10 that was on the original site. Now,
That's good.
I changed it.
Fortunately, Ma, I don't think too many of our employees can read, so I don't think it's added too much of a I do think our pharmacy may be struggling, though, with this image versus reality problem. However, as we all know, image is everything. Hitler says he's going out of his way to be nice. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Hitler didn't move to Australia after all. All that stuff about living in the same country that has Clinton for a president was all just talk. Although he is marking his calendar until 1996. We've got 1,059 days left until the election, and 1,136 days until Rush Limbaugh takes office. You can't wait. Anyway, Hitler says if the employees can't take a little screaming, a little hollering, and being swore at, then they can always take their business to Smitty's. Which, by the way, Earl tells me has 24 stores all over. They're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right. Earl says we should just shut the outpatient area down. Just shut it down. And I think he's working on a billboard poster with all Smitty's locations that would help him. By the way, Ma, did I tell robbed? They took his roommate's car. Ma, get this. You ain't gonna believe this. Everyone was home at the time. They were sleeping. Someone came into the house, went into the refrigerator, fixed some food in the kitchen, ate their dinner, had something to drink before they decided to go into the bedrooms, and they found the keys to the car in somebody's pants. Mama, it could have been real dangerous, because as I told you before, Earl was quite a gun enthusiast. He has about 43 guns, you know, equipped with those telling bullets that rip your guts out when you get hit. Turns out, though, that Earl can sleep through an atomic bomb. So the low-life degenerates, as he calls them, are pretty safe. He's got an arsenal next to him on the pillow. We did have a pretty scary incident, though, Ma, at the hospital where a nurse got stabbed.
Wait. It was a she who broke into the house. Fix that. Female. Worse yet.
Gee, that's rough.
Now they get robbed, we got robbed by a female.
Which is even worse.
More embarrassed.
All right, we did have a pretty scary incident, though, at the hospital where a nurse got stabbed by some degenerate looking for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
The nurse is going to be okay, although the staff was really pretty upset that it wasn't Marion McConnell or Annette McGallion that got stabbed. Now that I think about it, they've got a pretty long list of nurses that I'd rather see get stabbed and be off for a while.
Bonnie.
So you guys hired Bonnie.
It could have been a lot worse, though, Ma, if it wasn't for Gary.
Gary?
Rumor has it that Gary talked to the guy and told him that there weren't that many narcotics on the floor, and he should go to the main pharmacy and find them at the discount. Gary drew the guy a map. And the guy got lost. He ended up across the street from the hospital where the police were able to capture him.
Hey guys.
The police, they were going to thank Gary for his quaint thinking, but they couldn't read his map either, you know. As a result, the hospital's beginning to teach some self-defense courses, and Earl and Steve are going to teach a class on the use of 357 magnums, and Gary's going to teach a course on map writing. Now, Ma, Penny is due with her 4th kid at the end of December. Can you believe that? She's checking on whether or not they will induce her on the 31st. No sense letting the good tax deduction get away with it. The baby is going to be a boy, and they've been working on names for quite a while, and they've yet to settle on. Right. It started out as Richard, but once Penny learned that was Archie's real name, she nixed that idea real quick. The staff has been trying to help out, but Seymour Butts didn't make the short list either.
Seymour Butts.
Now Amber and Terry and Gary and Dawn and Tammy and Terry, they're still engaged. We have this kind of memo floating around the pharmacy right now that says you kind of live life in reverse. It says you should die first and then spend the next 20 years in the nursing home, and then get out and then work, and then when you retire, you've got all this good time when you've got the energy to use it. Well, I think they've got the kind of same philosophy when it comes to marriage. I think they're going to be engaged for 50 years and married for 1. You know, that's the way it's going. Now, let's see what else is happening. Oh, I should let you know that things are still they're still pretty unsettling to Brian's. I made a big mistake this summer in thinking that if we would just get to know them a little better, that would help our relationship.
Shelly.
Problem is, the more we get to know them, the more we realize we don't like them very much. It used to be that we would call them institutional names like Brian's doesn't have a clue. Brian's has a real attitude problem. Now after this clandestine meeting we had, we're really rather more specific, like Liddy doesn't have a clue. Laura has a real attitude problem. I educate their staff, but Ma, some of these people are really uneducatable. I think Bonnie has a hard time finding second floor, to tell you the truth. This gal can't seem to find anything over there. She is constantly calling over looking for meds. You know, maybe we should type our labels in Braille, because this thing is got to. And the stuff that I tell you about, the problem with the time clocks, they're still happening. This Chronos time clock thing. By the way, Ma, did you know that Chronos means time in Greek? I bet you didn't know that your son is a Greek scholar, huh? Anyway, Chronos was supposed to save us all this time by automating the payroll. Didn't happen. Between Annie forgetting her badge all the time, Gail and Mark are still trying to figure out no lunch. Everybody's switching to Tuesday for a Thursday. Steve and Earl are taking their Vegas trips. Roger spends more time doing punches, edits, and moving ET hours than we did before, when all we had to do was just listen to Gail give all of her excuses for being late and try to time card. Now the PC expansion project on 5th floor is getting off to a kind of a slow start. I'm spending more time in the pharmacy now, doing some staff routines, and that really gets Siobhan kind of nervous. We don't have 43 days worth of Kefsol and Kefurons in the freezer. We're really behind, and that gets her kind of tense. Siobhan, though, she really isn't the only one that gets nervous. Ivan told me that they have gotten requests in Human Resources for a pay differential if they have to work with me. I think Shirley calls it the Larry differential. But Ma, honest, they never had it so good as when they have to work with me. Right. It is rather interesting, though, trying to watch the staff dynamics play out. There are jobs that people, they just hate to do, so they really get creative in avoiding these tasks. I think the techs would rather have their fingernails pulled out than do narcotic rounds.
Yes.
Gladly and will do.
Osi, he doesn't do kinetic studies or TBN worksheets. So when it comes to doing this stuff, it looks like Monty Hall and Let's Make a Deal around. It's especially tough to get this stuff done on weekends.
Less than 15 seconds.
I'm sure Archie gets more sports watched on the television weekends than he does at work. He's rather fun to watch because he plays dumb on all this computer and electronic stuff, pretending he doesn't have a clue as to how things work. Maintenance staff tells me Archie's one of their prime resources when it comes to hooking up TVs to satellite dishes and such.
ESPN.
It doesn't matter what continent this game is being. He's got all the satellites figured out, all the signals figured out that he needs to see this game. And Ma, he's real fast at hooking it up and taking it down too. You can come into the pharmacy on Monday and there's no trace of it. Now Ma, I gotta tell you, remember this stuff is strictly hush hush. I don't want anybody to let on that I know anything is going on. Okay? No.
Who told? Who told?
Letting him think he gets away with this stuff really paid off last year. The Rhinos beat the Cats and the Pickens beat It's about time. You see, Archie is so brilliant electronically. He's able to manipulate these time signals. So he's got the final scores of the weekend games before we do pick'ems on Wednesday.
Right.
Ma, you know, knowing the final score of a game really helps your pick'em percentage, you know? I think he's toying with this year because he's only been kind of so-so. In fact, I've been doing a lottery pick this year, commonly known as the jug. And I'm ahead of the so-called experts. Colleen is close, though, because she uses the dancing and the butt method. If she's dancing with the quarterback, she can go one way or the other, depending on whether she likes him or not. And the same with their butts. Whatever quarterback has the cutest butt, that team gets the nod that way. Now the Cats, they have some mystery method, because they're always faxing in this or phoning in that. Pretty pretty sure whatever they do, though, they discount Kim. Because Kim is always complaining that she's not taken seriously. And I don't know why, Mark, because she's not even a blonde. They better be careful with her, though, because she's married to an Italian. And she's married to an Italian lawyer, no less. And being from Chicago, you and I both know what can happen to those guys if they don't watch their stuff. Now, getting back to the hospital,
Spot on the rug, nobody do a happy